Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda. So for this week, I really wanted to do something different. I was having a conversation with a family friend's daughter who is 17. She's going to be 18 at the end of this year. And she was just asking me questions about like college and how I decided on my degree. So these are 7 things that I wish I knew in my 20s. So number 1, definitely negotiation. I didn't even realize that until I was in my 30s. So fun tip, I am 31. I know. Black don't crack. I thought if someone gave you a job offer, you just accept it, because if you have the audacity to counter it, they'll be like, forget you, get someone else. But you really are missing out when you do that, because at the end of the day, they're only looking out for themselves. So you have to look out for you. And so with that, I definitely would have told myself in my 20s, hey, make sure you look at the requirements. If you feel like you have some things that exceeds what the requirement is, definitely bring that to their attention and say like, hey, you're offering me this, but I bring this to the table, so I think you should offer me that. Number 2, I'm such a people pleaser. I don't know where it came from. I always wanted to be liked by people, and if I wasn't liked by people, I kind of wanted to know why. And so that made me really question my identity and made me really became a chameleon. So any environment that I was in or anyone that I was around, I would just essentially transform and just be who they needed me to be. And I didn't really realize I was doing that until like my late 20s, when I realized, oh my gosh, there are some things that I'm saying yes to that I really don't want to say yes to, just because I don't want this person to be mad at me, or I don't want this person to not like me. Do not do things based on the people around you, because the people who are for you will be for you regardless of if you're doing things to make them happy or if you're doing things to make yourself happy. So be you, boo. Number 3, definitely felt like I was always wishing my life away. So when I was 16, I wanted to be 18. And when I was 18, I wanted to be 21. And when I was 21, I wanted to be 26. Like, I was never happy in the period in my life that I wanted to be happy. And even before I turned 30, I was like fully freaking out, being like, oh my God, I'm turning 30. I'm not married. I don't have kids. Like, I don't fall into the list that I'm supposed to be in. And I realized, you know what? God knows my timing. He knows not my timing. God has his own timing. So whatever hasn't happened, or whatever that I feel like where I thought I would be is not there, it's fine. I need to stop obsessing about the future and literally just enjoy where I am in life right now, because I know so many people who are in a position where I thought that I would want to be in the position. And then when you talk to them, they're just like, no, I want your life. Like, I want to be able to have me time, and I want to be able to enjoy this. And it's like, don't wish it away, because once it's gone, it's gone. Like, you're not going to get it back. Like, I can never be 21 again, even though your girl still looks 21. Advice is to just enjoy the present and don't really be too harped on the future. Number 4, I made decisions based on fear. I was always feeling like I needed to be one step ahead and make sure that any decision that I made didn't have like repercussions for my future self, which, you know, that was pre me like fully knowing like Jesus Christ and fully having a relationship with him. And there are definitely things that I regret that I made, decisions that I made based on me not fully trusting him and not fully letting go control and just letting him have the control, and faith and trust and believe that like he will be with you, he will be guiding you, and it will be okay. Because there are definitely some decisions that I wish that I could take back, because I based it on fear instead of basing it on, you know, faith. Number 5, quality over quantity. So there was a time where I felt like, oh my God, I need to have all these friends. Like, I need to have all these people like me. Like, I need to just be around and invited. And as I gotten older, I realized I'd rather have a small tribe of people that I know 100%. If someone's like, oh, this person was talking about you and they were saying this, that, and the third, I'd be like, nah, not that person. Like, I 100% know that you are lying. And I'm so grateful that I had those bad relationships to cherish the good relationships that I have now. Number 6, I wish I explored more degrees and career choices when I was in high school. I made the mistake to kind of go into college and being like, I'll just figure it out when I get to college. No, you're short on time, you're using money, and you're using resources, and that's just really not the time to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. Because I know so many people who either chose a degree because of their family, or B, like picked a degree and they're not even working in the degree. And so you don't want to fall into either one of those categories. So I definitely say you should do your research, you should do internships, you should just do some self-discovery, because maybe, you know, college is not for you. And I know that like in our parents' time, you got a job, you stuck with that job because it paid your bills, gave you a roof over your head, and then you died. And thankfully, you know, we don't have to follow that path. If you are not happy at that job, I say look for another career. You don't need to stay in that career. I mean, if you have responsibilities, I don't know what your responsibilities are. So definitely make decisions that, you know, will benefit you and your lifestyle. But you're at a job 8 hours a day, sometimes even longer. Why go to a job that you ultimately like hate every single day? There's just no point to it. And lastly, definitely be cautious about the decisions that you make, because it will affect your future you. But in your future you will either thank you or will be like, girl, why did you make that decision? Like, for real, like you could have been over here. So yeah, really hope like you get some education from this, and that I was able to kind of help you avoid some little mistakes that I made in my 20s. You know, if you guys find this video helpful, and if you want to see more tips on things that I wish that I changed in my 30s, or sorry, in my 20s.